You love them. That's not the question. But every time you leave, you need to sit alone for an hour, just to feel like yourself again. And somewhere in that quiet, a thought shows up that you never say out loud. Why does being with the person I love feel like something I need to recover from? Not a diagnosis, just a mirror. If this hits, stay with it. This isn't about loving the wrong person. This is about what happens inside you when you're with someone you love, and why the person who makes you feel safest can also make your body feel the least at rest. You're not broken. You're running a nervous system that learned a long time ago. That closeness comes with a cost, and it's been charging you ever since. The whole night you were on, laughing at the right moments, saying the right things, checking in when they seemed quiet, making sure the energy stayed good. From the outside, you were present, warm, easy to be around. From the inside, you were working, not consciously, just managing. Every word before it left your mouth, every reaction before it showed on your face. Is this too much? Did that come out wrong? Are they still okay? You get home, close the door, and something just drops. Shoes still on, bag still on your shoulder. You just stand there for a second. Not sad, not relieved, just done. That's the strange part. Nothing went wrong, and you're still exhausted. Here's what nobody tells you. When your nervous system learned early that love had to be earned, being around the people you love most becomes the highest stakes performance of all, not because they're demanding it, because you can't stop running it. This is what anxious attachment does. In the moments that are supposed to feel safe, it doesn't let you rest. It just makes the hiding look like presence. Be honest. Is this you? Drop a number in the comments. But the exhaustion doesn't start when you get home. It starts the moment something feels slightly off. Not wrong, just different. They took 2 seconds longer to reply. Their laugh was a little quieter than usual. They said yeah instead of yeah, definitely. And something in your chest just shifts. Is everything okay? Did I do something? Or am I imagining this again? You don't ask. Asking feels like too much, so you watch instead. You're not listening to what they're saying anymore. You're listening to how they're saying it. Tone, pace, the half-second pause before they answer. From the outside, you're just sitting there. From the inside, you're running a full threat scan on someone who loves you. Here's what that actually is. Your nervous system learned early that shifts in people's moods were the only warning you ever got. The change in tone that came before the distance, the quietness that came before the withdrawal. So it built a detector. Sensitive, fast, always on, not because you're paranoid, because once upon a time, catching it early was the only way to prepare. That detector was intelligent. It protected you. It just never learned that some silences aren't warnings. Some silences are just someone thinking, someone tired, someone having a normal moment that has nothing to do with you. Your nervous system doesn't know that yet. It's still scanning, still preparing, just in case they leave. Or you leave. Either way, the night is over. And you should be tired enough to sleep. But you're lying there, phone face down, ceiling above you, and your brain is still there, replaying. That moment when they went quiet for a second. Was that nothing? Or was that something? That thing you said around 9 p.m. Did it land wrong? They laughed. But was it a real laugh? And why did they check their phone twice during dinner? You're not looking for problems. You're looking for evidence. Evidence that everything is fine. Evidence that you didn't mess it up. Evidence that they're not slowly pulling away without telling you. Stomach tight. Eyes open. 2:17 a.m. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain doesn't know the night is over. For a nervous system trained on uncertainty, the absence of information isn't neutral. It's a gap. And gaps need to be filled. So your brain fills them with every possible version of what that quiet moment meant, what that laugh meant, what the phone checking meant. Not because something is wrong, because your brain learned that not knowing is the most dangerous place to be. The replay isn't just anxiety, it's your nervous system doing the only thing it knows how to do when the people it loves go out of range. It reviews the footage, looks for what it missed, tries to make sure it won't be caught off guard. Next time, you didn't ruin anything tonight. Your brain is just trying to keep you safe, in the only way it was taught. Which one felt a little too familiar? You get home. Door closes. And for the first time all night, you can breathe. Not because the night was bad, because you've been holding something the entire time without realizing it. You need an hour, maybe two, just quiet, just you. And that's okay. That should be okay. But then, 10 minutes in, a thought shows up. They're probably fine. But what if they think I went quiet? What if they texted and I didn't reply fast enough? What if the space I need looks like distance to them? Chest tightens. You pick up your phone, not because you want to talk, because the silence between you two suddenly feels dangerous. So you send something small. Hey, got home safe. A meme, a voice note, anything. Not because you're not tired, because tired and anxious can exist in the same body at the same time. And the part of you that needs rest keeps losing to the part of you that needs to make sure they're still there. Here's what nobody tells you about this. You didn't learn to need space from them. You learned that needing space meant risking losing them. Somewhere early, wanting to be alone and being left alone felt like the same thing. So now, every time you need to breathe, some part of you panics. Not because they've given you a reason, because your nervous system doesn't know the difference yet between choosing space and being abandoned. You're not needy. You're not clingy. You're someone who never got to learn that you can need distance and still be chosen. That's not weakness. That's what anxious attachment feels like when nobody can see it. At some point, you stop noticing it happening. Not a decision, not a moment, just a slow, quiet shift. You stopped mentioning the thing you were excited about because they didn't seem that interested last time. You started laughing at things you didn't find funny. You got softer around the edges, in the places you thought might be too much. Nobody asked you to. They never said, be less, be smaller, be easier. You just did it, because somewhere underneath all of it was a fear so quiet, you almost didn't hear it. If they see all of me, the real parts, the difficult parts, the parts that need too much, they'll leave. So you curated, showed them the version that felt safest to show, kept the rest for the hour alone after they leave. And here's the part that hurts most. You did it out of love, not manipulation, not control. Love. The kind of love that says, I would rather lose myself slowly than lose you all at once. That's not weakness. That's what happens when someone loves deeply, inside a nervous system that never learned it was safe to be fully seen. You weren't trying to disappear. You were trying to stay. And those two things felt like the same move. Here's what healing doesn't look like. It doesn't look like never scanning their mood again. It doesn't look like never replaying the night. It doesn't look like becoming someone who needs nothing and feels everything lightly. That's not healing. That's just a different kind of hiding. Here's what it actually looks like. It looks like noticing, mid-performance, that you're performing, and pausing, just for a second, not to fix it, just to notice. It looks like letting one real thing stay real. One opinion you don't soften, one feeling you don't compress, before it reaches the surface. Not everything, just one thing, tonight. And it looks like learning, slowly, imperfectly, that the people worth keeping don't need the curated version. They just need to know you're still in there. You don't have to show them everything. You just have to stop hiding, like your life depends on it, because it doesn't anymore. Even if some part of you still believes it does. You love them. That hasn't changed. But now you know why leaving them sometimes feels like the first breath of the day. It was never about them. It was never about you being too much, or not enough, or broken in some way that can't be fixed. It was about a nervous system that learned to treat love like something that had to be earned every single time. That's not who you are. That's what you were taught. And what was taught can be unlearned. Not tonight, not all at once, but slowly, one moment at a time. You can start to let love feel a little less like work, and a little more like somewhere you're allowed to rest. If this felt like someone finally put words to something you've been carrying, drop a comment below. You're not the only one who loves deeply and still leaves exhausted. Not because love is too much, because you've been carrying it like a job instead of a place to rest.